Peace and blessings, everyone. Earlier this evening, I was hit with an idea. As some of you might know, I believe that all public areas in the United States should be monitored by video camera. I believe it would be the best for the security of our nation, from threats from without and from threats from within. There's plenty of data, in certain cities there are cameras are around, and in some countries overseas where it's proven that having video surveillance helps lessen crime. And being that we are pretty much, if you look at it, and I find it quite ironic that I get a lot of resistance from people here on YouTube about the idea of videotaping in all public areas. And yet it's here on YouTube where we come to watch videos of people, their life. Some, just made comedy or whatnot. Videos of, police officers caught on tape or crimes caught on tape. And we're always glad to have it. We're always glad to catch when a cop unjustly shoots somebody, something of that nature. So we see the benefits in it, and we try to use it to our advantage, but at the same time, we want to resist exploring its use fully. People always, talking about their right to privacy. Once again, we're talking about public areas. There's no privacy in public areas. But I also believe that we should possibly do it in private areas too. That everyone's home should be monitored and videotaped. Of course, it'd be a big uproar about the privacy here, but for me, I could care less if the government videotaped what I'm doing in my home. I have nothing to hide. And once again, I believe it's for the benefit of everyone. How do you protect a child that's being molested at home? How do you protect them if you don't know about it? Right now, there's a child who's been kidnapped. There is a grown adult who is being held against their will in some house somewhere, some basement, some attic, somewhere. Someone's being held, someone's being tortured. How do you prevent that? How do you fight that? And are you willing to make a sacrifice of your own so-called privacy for the welfare of another? How about the welfare of a child? You might not care about what happens to an adult, but what about a child? One of the very first videos I saw here on YouTube years ago was actually child pornography. One of the very first videos. And it was sort of a traumatizing thing, and I've thought about this girl on and off, since then. Definitely for a nice period, a significant period of time when I first saw it, and I was just wondering about, this little girl. Where is she? What's going on? Is she going to be helped? Was there more to it than just the sexual act that was going on? Could she being murdered? Or what's going on? And this is happening with plenty of children. Would you be willing to make a sacrifice for the benefit of a child? And let me explain the video to you. I mean, it started out, you can see there was a female, right? There's a female, and why I didn't catch it initially that it was child porn, because at first it didn't hit me that it was a child molestation going on. So it was a female, and she had like a leather mask on the top portion of her face, and so you could see her body. She's laying on her back, and then there was a man. He was standing in between her. She was laying, I forget what she was laying on. He's standing between her, and he was rubbing his penis against her vagina. And it was tripped out because when I first saw him, I'm like, damn, this is a big dude. He is just humongous compared to this woman. And I'm like, his penis is humongous. I was like, this is a big dude, because there's just nowhere in mind that I'm on this site and there's gonna be some child pornography going on. I'm just like, he is humongous. And so I'm looking, and because the child, she didn't have any breasts, but I'm thinking it's just a flat-chested woman, plenty of those. She had no pubic hair. I think she just shaved. But once again, it was because of the mask that I couldn't see that it was a child. And it turned out she had to be maybe 8, between 7 and 9 years of age. But I'm looking at this video, I was like, this dude is just humongous. And then it slowly started to hit me what I was looking at, and then especially when she started to whimper and she started to whine, and I'm like, that's a little girl. That's a little girl. And it was disturbing. It was unsettling. It totally caught me off. And I actually ended up calling the FBI to report the video. And so still right now, I'm wondering, was this guy caught? Was this girl found? Is she locked up somewhere? Once again, is she alive? And if not her, I know that there's plenty of other ones out there. So, video cameras everywhere. And maybe not necessarily that everyone is being watched at all times, because I guess that's really that that couldn't be done where everyone's watched. But it'd be something to the extent, let's say that the government holds audits where they audit your movements. They audit the videotaping of your home. Along with the videotapes, I believe in RFID. I believe in knowing where everybody is, and that's because I mean it also helps in the fact that if there's a crime committed, if someone is innocent, you can know for a fact if they were there or not, or if you can at least place them there or not place them there. You would know. We would know if OJ had an RFID chip in him at the time of Nicole Brown Simpson murders, or not, if he was there. There's a benefit. The fear is abuse, but we must control that abuse. The government will be monitored too. The president's office will be monitored. Everyone will be monitored. And so, like I said, being audited. If you are suspected of doing something, then you're audited. We go to the tapes, go through history, and we run through the tapes of your doing, for everything you did, 24/7, where you were at. And then there will be random auditing. Like I said, just to maybe catch somebody who did something illegally. Once again, we will have to make rules to fight against abusing the system. Minor crimes, minor things you couldn't get punished for later. Oh, we caught you jaywalking, so now you gotta get a ticket. Things of that nature, talking about serious crimes. within auditing, you can be held accountable for. But of course, if you are suspected of something and it can be shown that you were there and there's a videotape proof that you did it, well then, you know, that once again, and then this makes a more just criminal justice system. You have more proof. You don't have that game going on in a courtroom of the DA trying his best to convince the jury, not even really prove, but to convince the jury, to get them to hold that beyond a shadow of a doubt within their mind that the suspect could have done it. Right? And then the defender doesn't have to play the game also, you know, knowing that his client did it, but he's going to use semantics and half-truths to get around that his client did it. We can cut all the games. It's games being played in this judicial system, in this justice system. And it's not enough truth. You know, they have you go up there and want you to say that you're going to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. But the jury, the judge, the district attorney, the prosecutor, nor the defense attorney are really concerned about absolute truth. They don't go deep enough into truth. It's just, let's try to put about enough out there. I mean, that the game of the 12 jurors, let's hope to get enough for the defense side. You know, let's hope we can get enough people on the jury on our side that might, you know, work in your favor. And of course, the DA is doing the same thing. I mean, that's a joke. That's a game. It's a game. It's flawed. It's game. It's not just. It's not, and it's not even trying to work to reach a level of perfection or as close to perfect as possible, so that innocent people aren't found guilty, and that guilty people can't get off by technicalities and things of that nature. It's a joke. It's my thoughts. God bless everyone. Peace and love.